Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool.
Here we are.
All right.
Yeah, welcome. And I hope you you bear with me. It's my first video interview.
No problem.
Great. So yeah, you both play many instruments, I read, and you've been playing also with lots of bands and groups. So maybe you want to tell us which instruments you play, how long you've been playing them, and then how you came together.
Well, Taylor's much more of a multi-instrumentalist than I am. I started on piano, but moved away from it pretty quickly and went to guitar originally, found it very difficult to play, found the miniature version and never went back. Especially gigging a lot. It's just so light and compact. So I gravitated towards that. But Taylor plays everything. He is a drummer, bass player. Well, all of the band.
Yeah, I first started playing drums when I was probably about 6 years old. My dad got me a drum kit for.
Oh, I didn't know it was that early. 6 years old.
6 years old. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. For Christmas, gave me a drum kit, which I'm sure my mom loved.
I wonder if she knew that was the gift,
Yeah.
or if he just sprung it on her.
And then played bass for a number of years, and then gravitated to playing guitar. And I play drums in Laurel's other band, Minuscule. But mostly it's just guitar for the stuff that we do.
And that was out of necessity mostly, I think, of as a bass player, you can't really strike out on your own. You need a band around you. So rather than relying on others, there's a cat screaming at me right now. Yes, hello. We left the door open, didn't we? Yes, we did. Yeah, so you just kind of wanted to be self-sufficient, and here we are. And that is kind of how we got together as well, is we saw the need for just a compact unit, rather than, we had both played in various bands, and the logistics of getting bands together and booking it, and often venues don't have a huge budget. So scaling it down to just the two of us made sense for what we were looking to do. So for the most part, yeah, that's what we do. We still have other bands that we play in because it's super fun to just collaborate with others. But yeah, that's how we joined forces.
Nice. And before the pandemic, did you just live from the music, or did you have other jobs as well? Or
I was, excuse me, working in restaurants, and the seasonality of music made it so that, and we were basically supporting ourselves entirely with music over the spring, summer, fall, and then during the winter, I would work in restaurants. Over the fall and winter, Taylor, who's a winemaker, would work a harvest, which typically, as you know, falls from the end of summer into the late fall, early winter. And then gigs would start picking up. So that was kind of our cycle for many years. And yeah, then the cycle was broken. So I'm back in school for accounting, which is a total left turn, but something I've always really been interested in. So seemed like a good time to do it. Music will still always be the forefront, though, I think, for both of us. And that was one of the main reasons why I chose that career, is because you can work remotely, you can make your own hours, and you never have to say no to a gig, essentially. So it's always good to have a backup plan, and most working musicians will tell you that they usually have a B part to their career. But yeah, it's been a strange time, but again, one of those happy detours that happened because of the pandemic, for me at least. But Taylor's still making wine, and he's got his own cider company that he's got partners with as well. So he's continuing to ferment things.
Always.
Always. And
Yeah.
even when there's not cider or wine to make, we're still making vinegar and anything that needs fermenting. I learned how to make sourdough. So yeah, we're just the fermentation station.
Oh,
Always.
it's a very nice area where you live. I have a family in St. Catharines. And
Oh yeah, we're
Perfect.
15 minutes from St. Catharines.
so many years ago, we went for a couple of times for visit, and then yeah, it's very nice over there.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
beautiful.
definitely. Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
time we leave and we come back, we have a greater appreciation for the area. Absolutely.
For sure, yeah.
Mm.
And you sing various events and also at weddings. How does it feel to be part of people's like supposedly most important day?
Yeah, that would definitely be, I think, our favorite way to express music when it's covers. Like obviously we love original tunes and writing them and performing our original tunes, but when we are hired to play other people's songs, cover songs, I feel like a wedding is like just a dream come true, because you are in charge of such an important moment in somebody's life. You're the soundtrack to the ceremony, the cocktails, sometimes the dancing afterwards. It's the whole night is centered often around music, and to be the facilitator for that in choosing and helping them choose the correct songs that speak to them. Yeah, that's an honor. It's so awesome. And it's really awesome that we've still had weddings during this time.
Oh,
I think
nice.
a lot of couples have taken this opportunity to have the small wedding that they've always wanted, but were pressured into not having, because you got to have your great Aunt Martha and her step cousins and her dog's step cousins, and so the list ended up getting quite large, when many of these couples would really just love to have their immediate friends and family, and this has given them an excuse to do that. So some weddings have still gone on, and they've been lovely and intimate, and really given us a chance to get to know the bride and the groom, and for them to spend time with their guests, which normally at a big wedding you don't get to. You just hop around the tables and say, oh, thanks for coming, and that's about it. So yeah, it's been a treat to participate in those smaller weddings during all this.
I've heard a couple of your songs, and I really like them. It's really nice music.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
But what I heard so far is more smooth, and then like everyday life, or about love and moments. But are you also political as artists sometimes, or what are your views on that?
Hmm.
Are you comfortable with
Oh yeah,
sharing your views about politics or things like that?
yeah. I think actually there's a song that you've been writing that kind of speaks to the state of the world right now, and protests that have been going on. And I know for me, I use music as a way to unpack and sift through information and absorb it in a way that works for me. So absolutely, I think that those kinds of issues are unavoidable if that's the way that you're using music. We don't get the opportunity to do that very often. And I know that we tend to fall back to music as an escape from hardship, music as a way to explore it sometimes, but also as a way to remind you of good times. So that's why a lot of our tunes, I think, have that beachy sort of feel, that that effortless happiness to it, because that's what we want to inspire and remind people that exists in the world too. There's a lot of really bad stuff that's happening, and a lot of bad things that will continue to happen, but using music as a reminder of the good, and to help people get through those struggles.
Nice. Yeah, I think for me, it's culture and music is essential to life. You can't live without it,
Yeah,
for your mental
definitely.
sanity. I think
Yeah,
really one needs. So it's good that yeah, we have people still doing music, although it's really hard nowadays. But
totally.
Oh, for sure.
I know that a couple different artists that I've spoken to have said how difficult it is to release music right now,
Mhm.
feeling like I don't have a right to ask for anybody to pay attention to me. There's way more important stuff going on right now, especially like anybody who is in a place of privilege, who is not marginalized. If they look at their life and say, like, I should be using my platform to help others who don't have a voice. And music can be a great tool for that. So I have heard a lot of artists saying, like, I don't feel comfortable, even though I have this brand new album in the can ready to unleash onto the world. I don't feel like it's appropriate right now with everything that's going on, and a lot of projects being halted because of it, just waiting for a moment that feels lighter. And I don't know necessarily that that's going to happen
Yeah.
for a while,
Mhm.
especially if we are moving in the right direction of change. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be a struggle for a while until we find a way to coexist where everybody feels heard and feels supported. So I don't know necessarily that holding those projects back is what's best, because again, we need those things to hold on to. We need art.
Yeah.
We need art that isn't necessarily about what's currently going on. We need also art about levity, for levity.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a difficult, he's just rolling around and meowing at me right now. He cannot handle not having the attention on him. Life with cats.
Yeah, we have one too. So,
You
do you have
know the
any?
struggle.
Do you have favorites Canadian artists with whom you would like to perform or exchange? On music.
Bahamas.
Yeah, there's an artist from Toronto, now from the East Coast, that we certainly love his style. Very similar, sort of guitar driven with female vocals as well. For sure. I mean, there's a lot of artists I would love to tour around with.
Oh, absolutely. But like first that comes to mind is definitely him. Because yeah, his style is very similar to ours, but we follow him on all the socials and he is just such a down-to-earth guy.
I think we'd get along.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
think we would just like in a touring situation where you are living in such close quarters with somebody and you spend a lot of time with them. That's also a factor in that question of like, who would we love to share the stage with? Well, tons of people, but who do we think we could share a hotel room with for a couple months? Definitely AP, Bahamas for sure. He's hilarious, and I love his songwriting. It doesn't shy away from difficult subjects. It doesn't shy away from difficult emotions, but also it can be very humorous and not make fun of necessarily, but just show a different side of struggles and how to get through them. So yeah, 100%. If you are not familiar, he's a fabulous representation of Toronto alternative.
I wrote
rock.
it down because there's so much talent in Canada. I mean, since I started, doing interviews, and then also I made a couple concert at my place with Canadian musicians, and then
Oh, awesome.
get to know one and then the other, and then
Yes.
it's just it's fantastic. I mean. Wonderful human beings, and it's just it's a great treat.
Well, we know that for sure. We're helping to put on a weekly concert series with our friend down in Niagara on the Lake, and it's just tough to whittle the list down.
There's only so many weekends in the summer.
Yeah, and you think, oh, I want this band and this band, and eventually you just run out of dates. But
Yeah, the
There's a lot of
talent
talent
is,
around here.
it's incredible. And I don't know if it's that the talent breeds that, or people come to this area that are so talented because there is a lot of opportunity.
Mhm.
But yeah, it just seems to be a breeding ground for creativity. It's incredible what comes out of this region. But we might be biased, thinking, knowing a lot of them are our friends and colleagues, and we've played and worked with them, and again, knowing them as human beings and just how fabulous they are and caring. Yeah, there's no shortage. There's definitely no shortage of talent down here.
Nice. So lots of nice people and music to look forward to.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Good. Which of achievements are you most proud of, and why?
Oh, that's a good question.
Mm.
I think collaborating on albums with people and then seeing the end result, and knowing that the contribution that you made just made it that much better. And having a challenging request and meeting it.
Mhm.
There have been bands that have come to us that have been like outside of our normal comfort zone in terms of what we write, and to be able to pull through and give a product that this band is really happy with. It just feels like cracking the code, like solving the puzzle, and it expands your musical horizons so much, knowing that you're capable of anything. You can do metal, you can do country, you can do hip hop, like whatever gets thrown your way, you immerse yourself in it and figure out a way to authentically still be yourself, but be yourself in that genre. But yeah, every album that we're involved in feels like an accomplishment, because there's so much work that goes into it. It can be months, even years. And yeah, I think every collaboration just feels like a huge accomplishment. And albums that we do on our own. The Minuscule album feels like a huge accomplishment. That's a choir of 15 to 20 women, and it's got a backing band as well. So recording that and mixing and organizing all of that took a long time and a lot of work.
It was a big step. Yeah, instead of going and spending the money to go to a studio, we took the money and bought a microphone
Invested in the
some of the
studio.
studio gear. And yeah, I mean, the transformation of Laurel with that album, not just writing the songs, but, organizing everybody to get together and then recording it, sitting down later, doing the mixing, doing the mastering, album artwork, just to really have it completely independent, nobody but us kind of having the creative control
Well,
over
we
it.
had others, do the album art and the mastering, whatever, but choosing your team. But for the most part, yeah, like that was us. That was just us in a room with some treatment and microphones, and knowing what you want it to sound like and researching to figure out how to get that. Yeah, we learned so much from that album, and have applied it to all of the projects since. So that was a huge accomplishment, and the most proud I think I've ever been of something that we've produced.
Yeah, nice.
So definitely recommend checking that out. minusculemusic.com.
Yes, definitely.
Which is also, I mean, what got Laurel nominated and also won the Songwriter of the Year award for the Niagara Music Awards around here. So that's probably our highest accomplishment as a and a Juno nomination, I guess, for some other
Yes,
work.
I co-wrote some choral parts on a pretty epic doom metal album out of Hamilton. The group is called Vile Creature, it's super heavy stuff. And again, like of stretching outside of what I thought my comfort zone was. But that was the second album that I had done with them, and found my footing. And they're just such lovely humans. Anything that they need, I just want to be a part of it. And yeah, so that was an unexpected phone call to get of like, buddy, you were nominated for a Juno. I'm like, what? No, I was not expecting that. But yeah, what a fabulous honor. Which, if for those who don't know, the Junos are essentially like the Canadian version of the Grammys.
Yeah.
So
Huge.
yeah, that was a really,
The national stage.
yeah, and then the national stage. So
Very
yes,
nice. Very well done. Very good. Which is your ultimate dream as an artist? Or as an artist?
I'm curious to hear the answer to this.
ultimate dream as an artist.
For me, just paying the rent with the rock.
Yeah,
you know, if you
pretty
can-
simple. Yeah.
You know, it would be
try and
great to be
keep
out
it
on the
really
road and
simple.
touring and all over the place, but just getting to play music every day is really the highest goal for me. That's what I want to do with my time, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's and being involved on other people's projects has been so rewarding that I think as a goal, like to expand that network and have more people call on us. So because that inspires your own music, right? And wanting to continue with your own music. So yeah, I mean, I've never toured. You've done a cross Canada tour before, so you know what that's all about. But I've never really gone further than North Bay, which was fun, which was awesome. But I think I, at some point in my life, would love to hit the road for a couple weeks and just do a couple provinces and see what that's like. Because I feel like it's a bit of a rite of passage. But otherwise, yeah, our goals, we try and keep it very achievable and very simple.
Ideally, I think one day I'd love to have the merger with the cider company and our own venue where we could have a space provided for all the other talented musicians in the area. And yeah, to be able to just sort of support the people around us and have our own space to play and have concerts. That would be awesome one day.
Yeah, if you play enough stages, you start figuring out what you love about certain venues and don't really love. And I think every artist probably at some point in their life is like, oh, I wish I could just do it myself. I wish I could just make my own venue, my own stage, and make the perfect place for people to play. Because those stages are so memorable for anybody, and it's a joy to play them, and it's a joy to come back to them, whether it be just acoustically, it's really awesome. The sound is great when you're on stage. The built-in crowd that knows that the booker is constantly just nailing it, booking excellent acts, and they just buy tickets blindly because they have such faith in that institution. So the built-in crowd is always great. Like there's so many aspects of it that they just stick out in your mind of like, oh, I can't wait to go back there. I can't wait to play there again. So to be able to create a venue like that is just like, it's known by musicians traveling around that, oh, you got to stop at this place on your tour. It's fabulous. That would be really cool to facilitate that.
And so you've never been to Germany before?
Not yet. I would love to.
I have some family. I don't know where she's ended up now. Actually, she was in Austria for a while, but I think she went back to Germany. Yeah, the invite's always been open, but I've never been able to take advantage of it. And that's where my parents went on their honeymoon. So yeah.
Oh, that's why when at the pub night, the DKG pub night in August, you mentioned that you were supposed to be called Lorelei, I think.
That's right. Yeah, Mom still does refer to me that way. especially when she needs something from me.
Nice. Okay, well, thank you very much.
To me, it's about longing, and it's about memories, and trying to reconcile with your past and move forward in a productive way. So yeah, I've been really digging it lately, and he's been working on it in the studio, getting demos together to be able to start working on recording it. So I've heard a lot from downstairs in my office. I've been working on it, so it gets stuck in my head a lot. So it's called Drop to Drink.
Well, now that we got here, and a chance to look around, now that we've seen it, couple of ups and downs, I just don't know, take it all in, the sound of the storm, the rage against the wind, pulls you in. Phoenix spreads her wings so thin, and it kind of makes you think. There's water, water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. Now that we got here, it was such a thrill. It doesn't seem so unsound, pushing that stone up the hill. I just don't know what to make of it all, the strength and the beauty that makes the waterfall feel so small. Phoenix spreads her wings so thin, and it kind of makes you think. There's water, water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. Now that we got here, and the screen is turning black, it's the honor of knowing with the courtesy it lacks. Can't see the future, can't take it with you, cannot change the past now that it's over. The phoenix spreads her wings so thin, and it kind of makes you think. There's water, water everywhere.
Water, water everywhere.
Water, water everywhere.
Water, water everywhere.
Water, water everywhere. So pour yourself a drink.
Yay! Bravo! Thank you so much. And
Thank you
yeah.
so much. What a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for reaching out and give us
Yeah.
the chance to reach an international audience. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it will be published on our website and our Facebook page. And so I hope it gives you more visibility, because you're really worth discovering. And I'm
Well,
really
thank you.
happy I did anyway. So
Yeah, yeah, we are too.
and yeah, so thank you so much. So thank you, Taylor and Laurel from Laurel and Hulley. And all the best to you. And hopefully we'll see you in Germany sometime soon.
Oh, for
Yes.
sure. Yeah. If
Yeah.
anybody booking gigs over there is watching this, give us an email. We'll
We'll
set
be
up a
there.
tour.
If you do come, then make sure to touch base.
Oh,
Absolutely.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Absolutely.
thank you so much. I love to have your dinner now.
All right, yeah.
And you
perfect
can get to
timing.
bed at some point.
Yeah, thanks for staying up late for us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you
no
so
worries.
much.
Thank you so much for taking the time, and all the best to you.
You as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, yeah, we'll talk to you soon. Take care.